Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, everyone. So, we're starting this podcast out of the blue, and I pulled him in. He has no choice but to join us here in this podcast. And we're calling it Acting, Life, and Everything in Between. So, you're shy all of a sudden.
I guess you can tell who's going to run this show
Yeah.
right now.
Why did we think of this podcast? Well, we both of us like to talk a lot. We talk a lot. And there are times when we just get lost in conversations about our craft because we both love this craft that we do, acting and teaching.
Yeah.
And we talk about craft and acting and how in life and humanity so often that I thought, why not make this into a podcast?
Yeah.
At least, record what we talk about.
Absolutely.
And if you guys are, find it interesting or entertaining or whatever, at least we get to share it with you guys. So right now we're at the beautiful roof deck of this beautiful building.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to talk.
Acting and life is not separate. People think it's separate, but from the work we do, it's not. It's just accessing different parts of ourselves, So when you access different parts of yourself, that's life. And then sometimes, it's learning how to manage those parts or accessing them on cue, but it goes into life.
So can you say that acting is very personal because life is personal?
Every art of art, different from, they always say, this is the most personal, this is the most difficult, this is the most whatever. And they are all in their own way. But acting, it's really depending on how you go about your acting. But the way we go about the acting is it's all personal. Because the only thing we have to offer the audience and producers and the script and our colleagues is us. That's what we have to offer, is us, is who and what we are. So if we lose ourselves in some way, shape, or form, or if we're not regulated in some way, shape, or form, it directly affects our work, and our work directly affects ourselves.
It is important then by saying that you must be somewhat balanced as a person, as a human being, in order to be a more malleable or healthy actor.
As a healthy actor,
or
yeah.
available actor?
Well, let's break it down into this way. There are some, let's not name them right now because there are so many prolific actors who didn't make it. They died. Suicide, drug overdose, so and so. Right? Brilliant, but they lacked self-management in one way, shape, or form, and I'm not being critical of them. But in whatever reasons, they have not been able to manage themselves. And I just think it's much more important to be able to manage yourself than to just think about it as acting. If you only think about it as acting and you're not focused on self-management, you're going to get in trouble, I think,
Some way or another, it's going to come out in your performance.
On your life.
On your life.
Yeah.
Vice versa.
Yeah. So also, I think anyway, if you have a strong level of self-management and you can get a level of objectivity, you could be somewhat objective in self-management, then you have a lot more to offer your director. You have a lot more to offer. You're safer, Your producers, directors, they see you as the safe person who could come on, they can depend on you, as opposed to that actor that might be wonderful, but are you gonna be reliable, dependable? Is there gonna be conflict? Is there, all of that kind of thing, if there's not really a strong level of self-management. So I'm big on that for that reason.
When you said self-management, when I teach my actors in the Philippines, when I teach them, sometimes I can't even get into craft work or materials when I know that there's some kind of imbalance or like a lot of blocks and a lot of emotional, even psychological, social blocks. because they're not free. So how can we even get into any kind of material, and how can the actor get into any kind of material with that kind of like a block? It really shows in the work.
You know, Anna, where you're going is so many actors are not even aware that there might even be a block.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they just don't know why they're not getting where they need to go. I'd had that, and it happens, by the way, to the best of us.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're like,
To me.
why aren't all of us? Why aren't I getting where I need to go? You know, and that's why, you know, we got to work on self-awareness in order to then be able to learn about self-management. I don't like to think of it as self-control. Controlling feels restrictive and it feels repressive. But management, I think, is more appropriate. Anyway, let's talk about fun stuff. Let's talk about fun stuff. Let's talk about the magic of acting.
The magic of acting. Oh, one magic of acting that's been required of my Filipino actors, especially, is the magic of crying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, there's, you know, they have their process, and, you know, I drill them with the process so that whatever happens, their body already knows what to do.
Yeah.
But there's something about reading in the script that you have to cry at this particular line that really messes up with their minds, make them panic and all that. What did you ever have, you know, those kinds of challenges? Or did you ever have those kinds of SOS from your actors?
Well, I got to tell you
York?
a story about me on that.
Oh my gosh.
This must have been, oh heavens, a long time ago when I was in a musical. And this Tony Award winning actor was our director. Brilliant performer. And the name of the show was Blackberries. It was a vaudeville. And we were doing some Al Jolson piece kind of thing. Anyway, he was saying, at this point, I want to see a tear coming out of your left eye.
Oh my God. I hate that. We're not a machine.
I'm like, my left eye? Like, what? Like, what? You know?
Oh, some Filipino actors know how to do that, though.
Out of your left eye. Not my right eye, but my left
right,
eye.
yeah.
I was like, more than panicked. I was like, what? How does that happen?
Yeah.
Left eye? So anyway,
My dad, who
Johnny Delgado.
Yeah, my dad, who was, he passed away 14 years ago. But my dad would joke, you know, would joke around sometimes, like, oh my gosh, I need to cry, I need to pull the hair out of my nose just to get a tear from left nose, left eye, left tear duct, right nose, right tear duct.
Oh, that's
But
funny.
it is like it is a valid thing in the Philippines, especially that we do a lot of soap operas. We do a lot of heavy dramas.
You know, it's a big thing everywhere. Everywhere. You know, you see it. You're in the Philippines, so it's very concentrated on what you see. But here in the States and in every country, that there's acting in really every place. It's that, especially what you were saying when you're dealing with soaps. Why soaps? Number one is, I think soaps are the hardest forms of acting because you have usually very little time.
No time to rehearse.
No time to rehearse. Sometimes a lot of material to memorize, and you've got to be like a fast food machine and produce healthy food.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it doesn't work that way. You know, it's different, it's challenging, you know. But do you want to talk about that?
One more story. Even now with my workshoppers from the public workshop, when they come to me and they sort of like audition in the actual workshop, they pick those heavy drama materials and they really push to produce tears, because a lot of them still validates that if you're able to cry, that means you're a good actor. If you're not able to cry, that means you're not up for it.
You're shallow.
You're shallow, you don't have depth, you're not an actor. So my question is, what would be your advice, or what's the healthiest headspace to be in when you read this in the material, or you're asked to audition for a heavy scene like this? What should be your goal? Is it tears or something else?
Well, before we go there, let's just address the obvious challenge. The obvious challenge is you're given a result, and a result at a very specific moment. And the result has to be that you're crying, right? It's hard not to not know that when the director's saying it and it's in the script. How do you not know that? And so you know it, and you have to say, well, wow, that's a strong obligation. But let's talk about first what are some of the reasons why one may not produce tears? I go tears because it's I don't know. There's a couple of reasons. When something happens maybe in your life and a friend is sick, a relative is sick, you see something tragic might have happened, and you cry, right? Let's say, just remember the times you did cry. Why'd you cry? You cried because you had an impact on something. Something touched you, and you cried. And it's a normal reaction. And you go, well, I cried 6 weeks ago when I visited my best friend's sister's cousin in the hospital, and da-da. You can say, well, I cried then. Why can't I cry in the set, right? Why can't I cry when I'm on location? Why can't I cry when they tell me to cry? I'm thinking of the same thing. Well, there's a couple of reasons that it's really important to understand, I think, in order to deconstruct this in a way where you could start to go through it for yourself, okay? When you cried in real life, you had no responsibility to cry. There was no camera on you. There was no one reading a script saying, "Whoop, you got to be crying now." There wasn't a director. There weren't colleagues. There wasn't someone with a boom right there. In other words, you weren't on the spot, and you weren't obligated to do so. So it was a natural thing. So really what you're being asked to do is create a natural thing in somewhat of an unnatural situation. That unto itself could be a problem for actors. Why? Because now, instead of addressing with what made you cry, you're now saying, oh my God, I gotta deliver.
Yes.
I gotta deliver. Your priorities shift. You see, if I gotta deliver, all of a sudden the person you were thinking of, talking to, whatever that might have been, that person or things, the dog that died, whatever it was that you were working for, that happened in your life, I should say, that had you cry, your priority shifted. Now you're like, I gotta deliver. And then everything else goes in the background. As soon as it goes in the background, it's not going to have an impact. That's one reason, but there's a bigger reason. Not a bigger reason, another reason that I think is in the parallel lane to that. I'm making this up, just so we could carry on with something, okay? Let's say in real life, it was your best friend who was very sick, and you visited your best friend in real life, and you just broke down and cried because you were scared for them, all of that stuff, right? Let's say, when it's time to, let's say, recreate that, if you're recreating that in order to have this high emotional response of crying, how are you creating that? And depending on how you go about creating that will depend on how you're being affected by it or not. You see? So, and I'm not going to get into the many different ways, but there's different ways to create that, right? However, there's another thing. This is really another part, and that is, I'm talking to the Filipino actors that are working with Anna, right?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm waving my hands.
I'm talking with you. Miss Anna will teach you different ways on, sense memory, sharing monologue. There are different ways to create that. To create that time you were with your best friend when you did cry, when you did feel something. You gotta ask yourself, am I even emotionally, psychologically open to be affected by it again? And let me tell you why. This is big. Let me tell you why. How many times did you go to a funeral and you cried? And how many times did you go to a funeral and you didn't? Right?
I even laughed.
Even laugh.
Yeah.
Let's not go there. I have some stories on that.
Anyway.
Should we segue into some bad stories?
No, get to your point.
For whatever reason, at one moment you were more available to be affected. And another time, you were kind of shut down on automatic pilot, let's say. You weren't as open, right? That's important to really know. Why? Because we're not machines, we're not light bulbs. We just don't turn on and off. We gotta respect ourselves as human beings.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Right? We don't just deliver like, no.
Fast food machines.
Fast food. I call it McDonald's. All right? We're not McDonald's.
Hi, McDonald's.
Yeah,
okay.
right. No, we're not.
We're not.
We're human beings, right? So, if you're kind of shut down and you know you're an automatic pilot, you got to go, whoa, I'm not even open for anything to touch me here. I'm not even open for it. I'm just numbed out, shut down, and the director, the script, the play, the playwright, everything in this demands the opposite. Let's say. So you've got to learn. It's not the right thing, but let me say it another way. It's important to know different ways to understand if you're not open, and then how you can get open. So then maybe you could be more present and more available. Because if you know how to get yourself open, right? Mm-hmm. Then you could be present. But if you're not open, there's a voice going on here saying, oh my God, I'm not open. What do I do? How do I do? How do I get open? Oh my God, you see that?
Or like, oh my God, that's not real.
That's not real because you're not then being present.
Yeah.
And you must be present. That's because acting, they always say, is reacting, right? And in order, but you can't react if you're trying to think of what you're going to do, and how to do it.
Oh, that's another topic I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Acting is reacting. It's easier said than done, right?
Say that again.
That's another topic, but we're going to save that. Maybe for the next one.
All right.
Wow. Yeah,
right?
That's an eye-opener. So it's more than anything, they must prioritize the awareness first. The awareness of where you are. The awareness if you are present, if you are available to even feel.
Yes.
The emotion.
Yes. Can I get, and she's right on. Not only that, everyone, but if you're not open, don't shame yourself.
Yeah.
Because then you're doubly beating yourself up and then you get double blocked.
That's right.
Because I'm not open. Oh my God, I'm a professional. They're paying me to be here. How?
Then self-doubt comes in.
Oh my God, how could I? You see all that stuff? That beats you up. You've knocked yourself out of the whole script at that point.
That's right.
Right? So when you do your self-assessment, you don't want to do it with prejudice and shame and And like, you see ego, you leave it out, just do assessment. Am I open? If I'm not, it's like if you got a cut in your hand, right? A little cut. Do you shame yourself for a cut?
No.
You just kind of go, what do I need to do with it? I need to wash it out, right?
Yeah.
I need to put some...
Antibacterial.
Yeah, whatever, right. I need to put a Band-Aid on it, whatever, right?
They got crows. Are those crows?
I don't know. I think they're crows. No, I think they're pigeons. We're in Lower Manhattan. So.
Yeah.
I hope. Yeah, don't shame yourself.
Because it's very easy, especially when you're on the set, and especially when you're among more veteran actors, more seasoned actors they're all crying already. They're all emotional, and they're just waiting for you. Oh, that shuts you down so hard.
Not only I'm laughing. Not only are they waiting for you, but in your mind, you think you're reading their mind on how bad you are. Sometimes, like you really could put yourself in a dungeon, and then you're expecting to be sensitive, open, and creative.
I have another question. So, how do you practice the awareness? I mean, it's easy to say, okay, so I have to be more aware. Okay, so I have to be more present. Some people, it's easy to be more present, just like that. Just a snap of a finger, they're more present, they're more aware, and they can automatically become open. But some people, it's hard, especially those who are more heady or analytical. How? I'm squeezing your brain right now for the sake of
my bald head for this.
For the sake of my actors in the Philippines and whoever is listening to us right now.
You want to, the number one exercise, now in the work that we both do, there are hundreds of exercises that antidote, which means that help us with blocks, okay? But the number one, there's one that's number one, and it's called personal inventory. And you could do it many different ways, actually. Actually, not many, 3, 4, 5 different ways. You ask yourself, how do I feel, right? And you answer it, and then you ask it, and you keep asking and answering it. Now, mind you, this is just to understand yourself. You don't live here forever, or else you're going to be stuck inside. But you've got to understand yourself. So, how do I feel? And you answer it. And you keep going, like, how do I feel? I feel interested. I feel curious on where this is going to go. You try to answer with emotionally based answers. Not how do I feel? I feel like
the moon and the stars above.
Yeah. Don't get symbolic. That escapes you from feeling. And say it out loud so it's not just stuck in there. Another one you may want to say is, what am I experiencing? Because you want to deal with, I'm experiencing loss, I'm experiencing frustration, I'm experiencing joy, whatever that is. And don't shame yourself for whatever you're feeling or experiencing. I keep saying that. You know why? Because we have programmed that we have to, I was taught to never feel shame. I was taught to never feel this and that because it's bad in some way. It's not bad.
Actually, Anthony, when you do the personal inventory, by saying it or by doing it, it's already helping you relax or just surrender to the moment just by saying what you're feeling.
And there's a reason. There's a reason. You know, I'll tell you the reason. The biggest things in our life that make us anxious and makes us have a lot of anxiety, all of the things that really are very restrictive is what I call secrets. The things that we don't want to admit. Because if I admit blank, then oh my God, it's going to then, I'm putting it out there that it's going to be true forever kind of thing. And I'm ashamed of whatever. that is, you know. Once you go there, you're going to only say things that you think you should be saying, that you think is acceptable, that you think, and that's not the exercise. You're lying. You're trying to fool yourself. Be honest. You want to be honest to whatever it is, and it doesn't mean you have to say this to people. Even it's to yourself.
Just
out
to
loud.
yourself, as long as you hear it yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good.
You like?
I like this. I like this conversation. It's in itself, it feels like an exercise, believe it or not.
All right. You like it? You have to tell us.
You have
She
to tell
says she likes it.
I like it.
And also, you know why I'm glad about this? I don't do this a lot, right?
No.
I don't do this a lot. I just facilitate a lot.
You don't like this.
I don't like it.
You're so private. You're so private. You don't even want to post anything.
I don't, well, is it private though? I don't know if it's private because I'm like, I don't know about that, but I'm like,
You want the arrow pointed at the others than towards you.
I want to just work.
Yeah.
I want to facilitate. I want to help people get through their, reach their creative potential.
Yeah. Maybe connect with new people also.
Yeah.
But this is a way of reaching out to them.
I want to say one thing to a lot of you actors, a lot of the actors out there. If you feel lost, if you feel like you have no freaking clue on what to do, how to do it, how to be, like anything, guess what? You're normal. You are. And I just want to say that it's much better to be in that place than to run away from that place.
Ooh.
Don't escape your dreams. It doesn't mean you're always going to achieve every single one, but you're allowed them. And even if you're lost on trying to figure out how to get them, that's okay. That's okay.
So there you have it. Thank you everyone for listening. And I hope you reach out to us also. If you want to comment, please do comment and follow us, and we'll have more of these conversations of acting, life, and everything in between.
Let's toast them.
Oh, okay. This is Anna Feleo and Anthony Vincent Bova from Lower East Side, Manhattan.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.